My name is Claudia and I'm originally from Hong Kong, and right now I'm studying in Masaryk University in Brno, and I'm a first year student, which is now on a gap year. And in the future, I would like to enter nuclear medicine or somewhere with more machines around me. Yes.
So I'm Romana, I'm a third year medical student from Portugal, and I'm currently studying in the University of the Azores, which has a protocol with the University of Coimbra. And I'm still figuring out what specialty I would like to follow, but I guess that's part of the process.
That's why we're here.
Exactly.
So, my mom, she was working in the infectious disease care unit, and it was when the year that SARS hit Hong Kong. It was a big thing because a lot of people were dying, and within the whole 100 days, nobody can go back home. Everybody had to stay in the hospital, and back then I didn't know what was happening because I was too young to understand what was going on. There was no more school, there was no more going out, everybody has to wear a mask. It was only later that I actually realized how much they sacrificed it. How much they sacrificed for helping other people. They just have to bear with, all the losses they will face and the fear they're facing just to get through it. So it was after then that I just realized how brave they are, like every single one of them. This is who I wanted to become, and my mom is still my role model nowadays. That's why I want to enter the healthcare professions like her.
So for me, I was always a very curious child. I always loved science, and then I also wanted to do something that would have a positive impact on people's lives. So I guess that's how medicine got in the way, science and the human side as well. So I guess that was it.
The reason that I went to this program was because I wasn't sure. Even though with all the determination when I entered medicine, at the first year, there was the loneliness or the pressure, everything added up together, and of course some family issues as well at the end. Then when I started doubting myself, I was thinking, is this actually what I really want to do, or is just is it still possible? Is it too hard for me, or can I just do something else? So this is the reason I want to come here to find out, to refine my passions, you would say, and to actually figure out, what my goals are, what my actual goals are.
For me, it's because I'm really indecisive between different specialties. So with the program we get the chance of choosing the ones that aren't that common, or we don't know that much about it, or just discover specialties. And with the mentor all week you really get to know what's the specialty about. And also because it's really interesting the fact that you can compare health systems between your country and this country and how things work in general. So that was it. I've been here for 3 weeks. I still have another week, but so far the specialties that interested me the most were emergency department for adults and imagology. They're really different, but emergency department you really have to think fast, to work fast, and to have clinical thinking. So that was really interesting for me, but also imagology, because first it's related to all the other specialties. Everybody needs some sort of X-ray or CT at some point, and also because it's challenging in the way that you never know what you're going to come across. So these two were the ones that I really I really enjoyed them, and my mentors were also really patient and kept explaining everything and very accessible. So these two are the ones that I identify myself with so far.
Within my 3 weeks in this program, I was afraid at first that I don't have enough base knowledge to actually be in the hospital yet. But I guess I was worried for nothing. When I got there, if you have any doubts, they will actually explain from the simplest things, and they will adjust their level of knowledge based on where you are and how much you actually know. So it's actually not that, you don't have to pay for anything, so I was really grateful for that. Especially when I went to nuclear medicine, They were trying to find out all the old files and all the special cases and discuss it with me and let you see all the pictures, the PET scan, everything. So it was really nice for them to do that, and I really enjoyed my experience here. They're absolutely sweetheart and everybody in the department and also in this hospital. They've been really nice to me. There was one case that was really memorable for me. She was a 2-year-old kid and she was already done her chemo and treatment and she was only back for a checkup. But it was only, even then, she had to take out her bone marrows for lab results. It was a difficult sight to see because it was so small and she has to go through all the radiation and all the painful treatment. And she was fighting hard to survive, and I really admire her. She didn't cry a lot as well. She was just really quiet and waiting for her turn. It was something that I couldn't forget for the past few weeks. Yes.
Yeah, for me, it's whenever you get to help in something, not that you can help much at this point, but whenever they ask you to just, I don't know, small things that you get to participate in and you feel like, oh, I was part of it, so it kind of gives you that feeling, that certainty that this is what you want to do. So it might be small things, but it just makes your day. I guess.
It's true.
You get out of the hospital really happy that you got to help.
Especially when they say thank you very much. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, but yes, thank you too. Yes. How do you like it? How many restaurants have you eaten in?
Well, we've been in a lot of restaurants.
A lot of good things.
Getting lost in the city. It's a beautiful city. A little bit cold, but also magic because of the snow. So, and we get to go in groups, like with our colleagues.
Oh yeah.
Just getting lost together, and it's full of surprises.
Yeah. Who wants to always get the
we
right
love
direction?
Prague.
Yeah. You discover places where you get lost.
Yeah, and we're exhausted, but then we get to the city and we're not exhausted anymore.
Piece of cake will help.
Yes.
We have a cake
we love
day.
Prague.
Yes. We're gaining weight, but it's a happy gaining weight. Yes, happy fat.
Yeah. So
it's okay. We love it. So I have this wardrobe problems when I got here because in the UK and in Hong Kong as well, it's quite different than the clothing they have here. So in here, you literally only need the scrub and lab coat, and you go everywhere with it. You don't have to dress up nicely to see in the wards or anything else. So if your concern is that, don't wear any fancy clothes. Don't play suits. Jeans is fine. Yes.
for me is in terms of getting the most of this experience. I really advise you to, it doesn't matter in what year you are, but I'm a third year student, and in terms of studying and reviewing the most of the specialties that you choose, because even with some medical knowledge that I already have, when I got to pediatrics, to imagiology, I felt the need of reviewing some rare diseases that perhaps are not that common in your country, or that you don't really know that much about, so just study as much as you can before you got here, because there's also all the other distractions, but sometimes you just get home and feel the need of going back to some stuff that you saw in the day, and also because the next day you can get there and they'll show you more cases of similar cases of diseases and stuff like that, so just study the most before you get here, I guess.
Yes. Even though that I haven't studied a lot of subjects yet, but I only focus on the ones that I'm entering, and I'll look at the basics and a little bit of some special cases. I think that's the more important part, is the clinical part. So even though it's kind of not my level yet, but I still read it, and to be fair, I actually quite understand it. When I actually got there, they explain everything to me, and you do your knowledge from there. You don't have to get Well, you don't have to worry that you're too young for this, you're too inexperienced for this. Everything will be fine. And you learn a lot actually from that, just learn.
I think that some people, they are really curious and they really want to do programs like this, but sometimes they fear of all the logistics behind, like you have to plan ahead. Perhaps like me, you're going from kind of a country that it's not nearby and lots of flights and just the logistics in general, how that's going to be with accommodation and stuff like that. My advice is just, okay, plan, but don't be fearful because everything, it's alright, everybody is really nice and you'll get here and no worries, it will be fine. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Yeah, that's how it is.
Love what you do with every heartbeat.
Yay.